Good evening and welcome. My name is Inbaal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch, and I'm here on the Bigfoot Outlaw Network taking you through psychic development with Inbaal. I'm here every week and we go through different aspects of psychic development, of giving readings, of delving into the tarot, maybe other types of readings, and I've got a fabulous topic for you tonight. Before I go into the topic, and apart from welcoming everybody, I want to explain to you a little bit about the channel, just in case you're new here. The Bigfoot Outlaw Network is full of esoteric programming of all descriptions. We've got Bigfoot programs, obviously. We've got ghost hunts. We've got psychic cold cases. We've got psychic readings, different types of inspirations, crystals, metaphysical, manifesting, a little bit of everything. If you like weird stuff, you're in the right place. And the other really important thing about the channel is our sense of community. We have lots and lots of welcoming regulars, and of course, the odd irregular. And it's always a joy to catch up with everybody, which I think I'm going to start flicking up some messages so that you all feel at home and the newbies figure out exactly what's going on here and who is here. So we're actually starting with a message from Grizzly, who is the owner here. And he says, you can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make more content, right? That is hopefully clear. It also means that if you press the like button, if you subscribe, if you engage with us, it keeps us on the air at no cost to you, which I think is a fabulous deal. We've got Twisted here. Alina says, hey, you all, greetings, lovely and Belle. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Kathy says, good evening. Mark says, good evening, Mrs. H, and of course, everyone else. Please remember to press the like button on whichever format you're on so you get alerts when Inbaal and others are on. It's important to note that if you're watching me on my Instagram channel, I can't see your messages. All the other viewers, if you're watching on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, I can see your messages, even though you might be watching on different channels, so you might not be able to all see yourselves or each other. We've got greetings. Mark is already introducing the topic, which was on the title today, saying financial guidance sounds an interesting subject for this evening. I thought you'd like it. I actually thought of you specifically, that you'd love it, because Mark used to give readings professionally himself, and those are some of the most asked questions. Amy says, hey, everybody, I'm out on deliveries listening. Rob says, hi. Hi, lovey. I just sent you a message as we were ringing in. Rob says, you sound poorly. Are you diseased or just worn out? Neither. You should recognize this, because for this show, I try to always sort of look really nice and be like really on the ball. But I had my dad here until this afternoon, so I could only like run in the nights. And I'm now with wet hair, just like I used to with the awesome Sunday Live. So when I first came on Instagram for the first 3 years, I used to do a Sunday Live, and I would always do it after a run. Sometimes a little bit poorly, but always a little bit shattered. And I used to always do it with wet hair and just kind of do my best. So I am yes, a little bit worn out. So we had my dad here because it was my son's bar mitzvah over the weekend. He became a man, which was the tiniest bar mitzvah possible, but it was still exhausting putting it together, and then having a house guest is never easy. So I'm a little bit super worn out, and also a little bit have just sort of finished running, but I will hopefully sound much better before the show is out. Thank you for inquiring. Lorna Nicole says, yoo-hoo to everyone. Oh, why is your message not popping on the screen? And I'm flashing up all the greetings that you're individually giving each other. No message will be missed as much as I can manage it. Dal Dal says, hey, everybody, love you all and what you do. Lorna is greeting Grizz. Grizz, are you here? Wow. So we've got a hi, everyone, from Grizz himself. He's the owner and big showrunner of our channel. And that is very exciting to have him here with us, basically the head of the community. And Crystal says, hello, everyone. Hi, Crystal. Thank you so much for the message on the weekend. So I'm flashing all the messages. Lorna says, be safe, Amy. You are a precious cargo, because Amy's on deliveries. Oh, bless. Crystal says, say hi to your dad. He's just gone, but he's had the best time. Rob says, I did recognize the post-shower hair. Such a throwback. I love it. I was thinking you're going to spot that straight away because you know that look. Lorna says, Mazel Tov. Thank you so much. I'm so not religious, like in the least. And it was still such an incredible, like, spiritual experience. Had a lady rabbi, which is like super, super unusual. And she kept it really inclusive to make sure that everybody sort of felt like, a part of it. Mark says, oh yeah, I remember them Sunday lives. I do miss them. I hope it was nice that your dad is there. Yes, Mark was my my kind moderator on my Sunday lives, actually. Crystal says, wow, the time surely has flown by. Please give him a big hug for me. Congrats on his bar mitzvah. Thank you. And Kay is saying, hey, it's a good day to you all. Amazing. So I'm going to introduce the topic. As Mark already alluded a little bit, I want to talk about financial guidance, financial messages in the tarot. Apart from love, finances are probably the second most requested topic. And before I go through lots of insights and tips and stuff, I want to see that we're all paying attention. So, out of earth, air, fire, and water, which element do we think that finances would show up in? Which element? Which elements? I'm going to read some more messages. Earth, air, fire, water. Which one is that? While you're sending it in, Rob says, I hope you're appreciating that even though my life is falling apart and I should be packing, being here with you tonight comes first. You will never find anyone that appreciates procrastination as much as self-employed people. I appreciate that. Rob says, I didn't know you could have a lady rabbi. That's amazing. I didn't know. It was completely mind-blowing because I only knew like one way of doing things, right? And then my good friend over in Israel sent me, that's like almost 2 years ago, sent me pictures of her son's bar mitzvah, and I saw a lady rabbi, and I was like, what is going on there? And she was like, oh, reform Jews, they're allowed to do anything. And I was like, we can do that? And so instead of and this is in Israel, it's like, super like regular mainstream and that. No, she went left. And instead of doing a religious ceremony in a synagogue and everything, they were out like in an orchard, and they brought a lady rabbi, and she brought her scrolls, like her holy scrolls, and the kid had his bar mitzvah out in nature. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I showed it to my son, who is, not religious, same as me. And I said to him, do you want a bar mitzvah like that? And he was like, no, that was still like too many people. And I said to him, what if we found somebody and could do something really small? And he was like, oh, it's really interesting. And then totally out of the blue, my husband was reading an article that York in Yorkshire, who expelled and killed all of their Jews, no hard feelings, 800 years ago, got their first rabbi in 800 years, and it was an American Reform lady. And we were like, oh, do you think she does bar mitzvahs? And she does, and she is awesome, and she specializes in interfaith families. So yeah, it was absolutely mind-blowing. Lorna says your son will be delighted with himself. You know what? It was delighted with his pizza. That was the deal. Mark says, indeed, when I got too ill, Robert took over, if I recall. Yeah, everyone covered. Robert says, that's me. That's right. Rob says, earth sign. Twisted says, fire. So I'm trying to press the thingy. Wait. I'm not pressing it correctly. Twisted says, fire. Crystal says, earth. Mark says, air. Nilda says, hi, beautiful blessings. Mwah. And Kathy says, fire, and everybody's greeting Nilda because we love her. Right. So, and Dal has a whole theory saying money is hot like fire, blows away in the wind, washes away in the water. So, earth. I don't even know how you got there, babe, but you are correct. So, in the tarot, and indeed in elements, water cups is something you feel, right? Emotions. Air, thoughts, there's something you think, right? Ideas. Fire is something you do, you move with it. And earth, pentacles, coins, discs, is something you have. And therefore, for the most part, finances are earth. So Dal says, I use logic. Let me remind you that logic for Dal was money is hot like fire, blows away in the wind, washes away in the water, so earth. So, you know, if this is how you use logic, I want to be able to do that. That to me is more mysterious and more mystical than the tarot. But yes, so I agree with it being earth. Money is tangible. Money is things that you have. Money is possessions. Money is things that you own. So for that reason, when we look at money in the tarot, we have the suit of pentacles. This is in the Rider-Waite Smith. I'm going to show you the Thoth before too long because you know me and I can't keep away from the Thoth. This, for example, is the 10 of Pentacles. So do you see what we've got here in the drawing? We've got like a family that has generational wealth. They have the 3 generations here. We've got a kid, we've got parents, we've got grandparents, we even have dogs. And we have their home and their family crest. So they are, you know, they're wealthy. They're not just, you know, they don't just have possessions. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here. She's got stuff. She's got money. She's also potentially pregnant. And here we've got the trophy wife. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. She has money, but did she give up her freedom at the same time? So yes, we're looking at the earth element. The pentacles in this deck, and really in a lot of other decks, show as fairly uniform gold coins. And when people ask about things that aren't money, they might still get money answers. I'm going to explain to you using examples. It makes it so much easier to use examples than to explain things. Let me just flash up a couple of other messages. So we've got Chris saying air, Kay saying water. I'm seeing the lucky cat and coins, metals, pressure on. I've been trying to catch up, feng shui, etc. So in Western, I suppose, doctrine, astrology, you don't actually have metal as an element. Metal is kind of in between water and air, I suppose. So I see where you're coming from, and it's very possible that in Chinese astrology, Chinese spiritual mentality, that would be the correct answer. But in Western, you've got earth, air, fire, and water. And even though nobody is incorrect, because all the elements cross over in an interesting way, because what you see in the tarot, and indeed what you see out in the world, is not just about the stuff that is sensible, but it's more about what you feel. And if air and ideas and the ability to think and having wit and having charm, right? So all qualities of the air element make you feel wealthy, or if that is how you make your money, if you're an author or a comedian, then air and money are connected for you, then it's not incorrect. The elements do cross over, but just generally speaking, like super generally speaking, earth. Let me just flash the last of the messages. Daldal, I figured money lands on earth and stays. I adore so much how you see it, because you're obviously seeing it in such a creative, fluid, visual way. I really wish I could do the same. I kind of can, but I need tarot for it. Rob says, I hope you're going to plug your wealth oil in this video. It's relevant. I suppose I could. If anyone is interested, I've got my wealth oil always for sale. I'm posting a few tonight. I mean, I'm ordering the delivery tomorrow, so they'll go out tomorrow. So if you want to hitchhike on that, then you can order yours. Oh, look, John is here. John says, how do you all? God bless. Hey, Grace Inbaal. Hey, John, great to see you. Twisted said, I love Rider-Waite-Smith cards. Let's have a look at a few more of the financial cards and see the differences between them. And Chris is saying something so on the nose. Chris says air could relate to the manifesting aspect, right? So if you're manifesting money, that is quite airy because you're doing mind thinking, like mental thinking. So we saw a few of the very exciting, very positive money cards. Let's look for some financial disasters, because those come up as well. Yeah? Is Nilda here? Sent us a message to say I'm very emotional. Scorpio in sun and rising, moon in Leo. It's a lot most of the time. My heart goes out to you. I'm sending you lots and lots of love, sending you lots of emotional love to your Scorpio, and lots of loud love to your Leo. Still, let me have a little look for the less exciting financial cards, starting with a surprise. Well, I say a surprise. I get so excited about all aspects of the tarot. I don't know, you might not find it so exciting. So let's have a look at the Three of Pentacles. And there's something special about the Three. Have the Pentacles here, 1, 2, 3. And I wonder, even if you already know the answer and you're like, oh, it's not fair if I tell you the answer. Even if you know the answer, tell me what the answer is. Why is the Three of Pentacles different to the other Pentacles cards? So let me tell you what the Three is showing us here. We have three people fulfilling three roles of the building trade. We have a stonemason, We have, I don't know, a planner, somebody with like the plans in their hands. And we have the friar or the priest, the owner of whatever this here church or whatever it is. The pentacles here represent work, simple work, whatever your trade is. So this card would really sort of come for hairdressing if you're a hairdresser. It would come for mechanicking if you're a mechanic. Whatever your stock in trade is, whatever your day job is, this would come up for. Whereas this one, right? So here we have the Ace of Pentacles. That's like new beginnings, and that could come for your regular job or it could come for your side hustle. This is new beginnings with finance, new beginnings with work. This one, it's not really going to be your side hustle. It's not going to be like the little thing that you do for extra money and for excitement. This is not going to be like you dog walking or, you know, I don't know what side hustles are. Selling makeup to your neighbors. This will be getting in the office at 7 a.m., staying in the office, typing all the important things that you need to type, and so on. Let me see if I got some answers to why is this one different. Says it shows that work with money comes your way. It absolutely does. Yeah, we've got the answer here because they aren't gold, right? Look at this. Look at the color of the pentacle. Look at this. Look at the color of the pentacles, right? They're yellow, but it's really because those cards are kind of old and it represents gold. Go with me on this one. It represents gold. Gold coins. Gold coins, all very exciting. You know who's got no excitement? The Three of Pentacles. Exactly. Twister says, Three of Pentacles looks like frequency or DNA to me. There's something in it. I agree because it's ordinary. The Three of Pentacles is regular. It might be boring to some. You might be feeling like you're working in an archive all suffocating. It's really dusty and, you know, might work underground or do a night shift and not see the sunlight. There could be some downsides to it, but like a frequency, like DNA, just because it's ordinary doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It's as good a way to make money as any. Let me tell you a funny story. Now I'm going to have to change some names, but a friend of mine, she used to be, what do you call it? Like HR. She used to place people in jobs. So people would come to her who were temps, like temporary workers, and she would find them temporary jobs. And she had somebody come to her that she said she remembered to this day. It's an old story. But she sent him to a job that nobody survived in. She said that the lady who was like the boss at the time, she was a smoker and she'd smoke in the office. And I know you're thinking, wow, the UK is really behind. No, it was illegal in the UK also, but you know, but what are you going to do? And the lady was like really unfriendly and nobody liked. So it would be like temporary workers. They'd go there, last a day and say, I'm never going back there. Anyway, she had this one guy, name withheld, and he turned up and she said, I've got a job to send you for, but nobody survived, so you know, go and see if you like it. And he lasted there, he lasted well. And she rang him up and she said, are you all right there? And she does like his little voice and she goes, he said to me, it's a job in it, pays money, doesn't it? And that is the vibe of the Three of Pentacles. It's a job, innit? It pays money, doesn't it? Anyway, the reason she told me that story is because one day he rang her and he said, I've got to quit. And she said, oh, what, did you find a permanent job? And he said, No, my band got signed, and he made his way to fame and fortune, which kind of makes the Three of Pentacles story so much cooler, because this guy who was like, yeah, pays money, doesn't it? This guy ended up on, don't want to say what reality show, but ones that would take people who used to be in bands. So very exciting. What have we got here? We've got Kay saying, interesting with the stones also. Architecture is beautiful. Yes, same vibe though, right? Because we've got the architecture here. It's beautiful. It's also functional. It's also traditional. So we've still got that sort of very triangular, angled, kind of ordinary vibe of the Three of Pentacles. I also want to share with you the Five of Pentacles, because even though this one does have gold coins, it's probably one of the least the least requested one. It's on the list of the least requested ones. Let me read some messages, and we're going to go into the Five of Pentacles, nobody's favorite card. I kind of like it, but nobody else's favorite card. Rob says, and possibly not even arrived at, because they're putting the work to get the gold stars made and put up. Oh, maybe that's why there's no gold stars there. It never occurred to me. Grizz says, absolutely. Oh, do you know what's beautiful? Rob says, I love the Three of Pentacles card. I find it very reassuring and stable. I can kind of see that. And I like the kind of stonemasonry in it, so that this guy, he's good. He can do things. He can make things beautiful. He can make things that last. Is he in the bottom of the food chain here? Kind of, but he's also the one standing on the bench, right? So there is something very elevated about him. Crystal says, I see it takes place in a church. Wait. Crystal says, I see it as it takes place in a church, meaning that this money comes with some type of sacrifice, hard work, and dedication. Crystal, I could kiss you. That is exactly right. And the beauty of the tarot is, and don't get me on the tarot, not bandwagon, or I'm going to say soapbox, but I do get so excited about each card, because there's so many different aspects to look at it. Scott says, shoot, I'm late. Rob says, that's very interesting, Crystal. It's interesting, isn't it? Dada says, looks like 3 different architects, and they come together to make one creation to fit all their needs to make it work. Yes. Yeah, 3 different types of. Mark says, 5 Pentacles equates to struggles and lots of them. Maybe, but also I have a lot of love for the 5 of Pentacles. So here we have 2 figures, and those figures, they've got problems. We've got the figure behind. He is wounded. He is walking with the assistance of crutches. His head is bandaged. He has a belt around his neck, which is not a good sign. And the lady in front, she does seem of sound mind and body, but her clothes are very, very torn. They are walking across the window of a church that does have gold coins, but they're on the outside. And for me, one of the most important lessons of this card, and one that I never tire of telling clients, is help is at hand. There is somebody around you who will be happy to help you, whose entire remit is to help you. And when this card comes up, sure, you've hit rock bottom, but somebody around wants to help you out of rock bottom. I think we're still a little bit on the Three of Pentacles. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to make our way. So Rob says, for me, I see that the shape of three represents a Celtic knot, making reference to the Holy Trinity, and the Holy Trinity acting together to get action and forward movement. So the Three of Pentacles is very like the, what are they called? Those spirals of Tara. So yeah, there is a Celtic element to it. And Kay says the Holy Trinity, yes, a nice view, beautiful. Three is, of course, a very magical number, but then I am the biggest geek. I think all numbers are kind of magical. I see a lot of magic in four, like the four elements. Balance, I see a lot of magic in five, four elements with spirit on top. And Rob says, and there are three beings there acting together as one towards one goal, which is, yeah, that's really sort of what Trinities are, isn't it? Case says, Control Alt Delete, it's work, yet no, it comes easily as you do what you're called to do. Upgraded views. Oh, I love that, Kay. So Kay says, yes, my Five Pentacles association is definitely a huge warning, yet also meanings of such messages can and do change. Right, exactly, beautiful. Because when you get a warning in the tarot, then it doesn't have to happen. You can still pivot away. And Kay says, always be open with discernment. And I love that you've got the dove in your emojis there. I love the dove. Chris says, Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold, losing something now to gain something later. Yeah, but you've got to notice what's around you with this one, right? And Crystal says, I think the three goes hand in hand with the five. Yeah, they're two sides of the same coin, huh? Which is not even intended as a coin joke. I think it reminds us, says Crystal, that even though we have struggles in life and we work hard for what we get, we can lose it at any time. I see it as hard times. It can go either way. It can go from 5 to 3. It can go from 3 to 5. And I think we also have kind of a call and response here. Because if this guy feels, maybe disrespected, that he's the one skilled one and he's the one sort of having to listen to those two and they're telling him what to do, and he's like, maybe I should just quit. Maybe I should just quit. Yeah, babe, but if you quit, you could be this guy. And it could be the opposite question as well. Those people in the Five of Pentacles may have given up opportunities which weren't aligned with what they wanted to do. And they're saying, you know what, thank you very much. I know I could go in there, but if I go in there, I'll have to compromise who I am. So I'm staying out in the snow. I want to take my chances with the snow and with the crutches and with the everything. So it can flow. It can flow either way. Kay says, kittens were born 3/5 in a 9 year is 369 birthday. Yay. Rob says triquetra, is that the spelling? The triskelion too. So the three spirals. Yes, very, very good. Now, lots of new messages updated on my screen. Wait. There we go. I'm flashing up the messages, flashing them up. Sorry, just updated. Kay says, I was just thinking that the story of our history, re-Trinity test. Odd, isn't everything? And Rob says, is the Five Pentacles there in shape of an incomplete tree of life, or am I imagining that? I don't think you're imagining that, because we have, I think, quite a lot of kind of parts of the tree of life. I think even the three could just sort of be the top of the tree of life. If we pull up, especially with the pentacles, if we pull up the 10, and then we've got obviously the top three, kind of like this three, or the top 5 is a little like the 5. Even the 4, at a stretch could be like this one. Sorry, I'm going backwards. Could be like this one, and those two. So this is a little bit of the messages of the pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith, not including, still excluding the court cards. We'll do that another time. But let's have a little look at the pentacles of the Thoth, because we have a very different story there. Daldal says, it makes me feel like a rags to riches story. Once you hit rock bottom, you can only go up to look at the future and leave the past. But yes, exactly. This is why I love it. I love a good rags to riches. Leave the past behind. Kay says, just read Tris was the name removed from clothes. So many synchronicities. Love it that you're having your synchronicities with us. Crystal says, to me, it looks like they're inside the church with the trees, but maybe they did not get the contract they wanted and they were pushed out into the 5 position. Maybe. Rob says the 5 kind of looks like if you turn the card of the 10 inside down, 1 pentacle fell down. Guess could show everything being wrong and all over the place. Absolutely. I think it's like a saying that every person is about 2 paychecks or potentially 2 paychecks away from homelessness. That people's fortunes can change on a pin, on a spin. I don't know. I don't know the whole idiom. But I've read so many stories of somebody that said, I was a regular guy. I was a person just like you. And then I went through a divorce and I couldn't afford my rent. And so I was evicted, but I didn't have a deposit for another place. And now I live in the street. Do you know what I mean? So life can change on a beat. Let's have a little look at some of the Thoth pentacles. First of all, they are not called pentacles. The Thoth earth element is called discs. I don't know if you can see. So obviously it says gain at the front, but can you see the big letters in the back, the gray big letters behind? It says discs. And so the earth element is not pentacles in the Thoth. It is not coins. It's specifically discs, and it alludes to their shape. So they are circular. And obviously they're circular as discs and pentacles as well. But yeah, they're just discs. Now, allegedly, the Thoth discs are not supposed to represent money. I do not agree with it at all, but I also don't want to go against Crowley, who planned and designed those cards. In my experience as a reader, they definitely connect with money. However, what the meaning of them is, and obviously it comes from the from the privilege of you didn't need to worry about money. But what they show is stability, security, comfort, and all of those things, I'm sorry, kind of boil down to having money. So here we have the Ace of Pentacles. Look at it, look at it, look at it. So we've got a big gold coin in the middle. Looks kind of like a diamond. It's got angel wings all around it. Everything is kind of goldy and greeny and very, very lush and wealthy. So this is like it's a real one. It's a real kind of Pentacles type card. But let's have a look at one of the less fascinating ones. So we talked really a lot about the Three of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith. Let's pull out the Three of Discs in the Thoth and see whether it's a little bit the same or a little bit very, very different. There we are. Now, what are we guessing? Same, different, not so same, not so different, kind of different, but similar vibe. So here we've got three kind of wagon wheels organized in the same kind of top of the tree of life arrangement. They seem to be supporting a pyramid. Can you see how that is like a glass pyramid? Like if I lay that, you expect that to come out of the card. Most of the colors are very gray, very ordinary, very dull, and that could be the same kind of vibe that, you know, this is like your trade. It's not necessarily your passion. It's just your trade. It's the job that you do because you need to keep paying your rent. So it's kind of similar. We've got some planetary and star sign symbols here. Here we have Mars, planet of passion and also of fury, rage, all the fiery things. And here we have Capricorn. So this overall says Mars and Capricorn, but also has Mars meanings and Capricorn meanings. So Capricorn is a very hard-working sign. So this relates to obviously very hard-working card. And the passion here actually takes that image of the stonemason just sort of doing, you know, following instructions, doing the thing that he's supposed to do. And that kind of tells us how passionate the card is and how the stonemason is doing the job that he's doing, because that's what he's passionate about, right? So that's exciting. Let's see if the 5 is any better or any, any worse. Let's just have a little scoot through your messages. Kay says, now as with such changes, we hopefully learn and grow from them and gain the wiser views of the bigger lesson as all micro as macro discs. And yeah, and you've got like a wagon wheel there to represent the disc, because exactly like in the 3 cases, and raise up our energy or wheels around us as if wings yet. Astral fly type. Thank you. Mark relates to this pyramid, saying pyramid of power, maybe so. Chris says you need all 3 corners to make the whole pyramid, individual parts collaborating to make a whole. Yes, although we don't have kind of the tip of the pyramid. Do you know what I mean? We've got the base of a pyramid, but is this alluding to like a missing part? Do we actually need like a secret 4th member of this trio? Interesting. Nigel Porter is here saying hi, everyone. He says, how are you doing today? And he goes, I'm doing half and half. Thank you. Let's send Nigel lots of positive vibes so that he's not doing half and half, so that he's doing good. Crystal says, When I saw that card, first thing that popped in my head was having the third eye open for abundance and movement. Love it so much because, yeah, this really is like third eye. Have it open for abundance. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Kay says, Ezekiel's wheel has been on my mind often. Was just organizing and viewing my triangle stones. That is lovely. Let's have a look at some other discs. Now, you'll notice that in the Thoth, sorry, I nearly dropped the card. No, now I fully dropped the card. But you will notice that in Thoth, the discs are all different colors, all different designs, very unlike the Rider-Waite-Smith, where all the pentacles are the same color as each other, except for, of course, like we said, the 3. So here, for example, we've got 3, 4. Sorry, I get so confused when I look at the screen instead of looking at the real thing. 3, 4, 5, and 6 of pentacles, of discs, for example. So the 3 is predominantly gray with a little bit of red. The 4 is orange and yellow. The 5 is all dark colors, gray, dark blue, dark purple, and the 6 is white, blue, red. So we've got a very good explanation there from Rob, who is still here, just cutting up a salad. Very good, bless you, and the vegetables. And he says, I think different colors represent that wealth means something different to different people. I really, really agree with that. I really agree with that because, and I think I'm going to use the 9 of Pentacles to kind of state my case, because, and that's kind of exactly why the Thoth discs are not supposed to represent money. They might represent the trappings of money, the stability that money brings. What it also shows, because each of the cards remit was the same for Thoth as for Rider-Waite-Smith. You know, Mars in Capricorn is Mars in Capricorn, and it'll always relate to the 3 of Pentacles / 3 of discs. The question really is how each designer, creator would interpret that. So, for example, here we have Venus, planet of love in the home, in Virgo. Very organized sign, very dedicated to its own stability. So here in the Thoth deck, the 9 of discs is a card with lots of money, lots of stability, lots of security, no questions asked. Whereas in the Rider-Waite-Smith, this is where we've got the trophy wife who has all the money but has given up her own freedom. On her wrist, we see a falcon, and the falcon is masked because it's trained, because it's a trained falcon. It's a pet falcon. And it draws a parallel, and it says to us, is she a pet too? Has she got all that money and she's supposed to stay at home, or, you know, stay in the garden and wear what her husband / owner has told her to wear? And that is the exchange. So if this is the 9 of Pentacles and it follows the same guidance as the 9 of discs, then what we're seeing as a difference is not just difference of design. We have a complete difference of approach. She, trophy wife, she had to make some sacrifices in order to find herself in a positive solution financially. But who hasn't? Who hasn't had to make sacrifices to find themselves in a good position financially? Whoever's got this very wealthy card may well have had to make sacrifices too. Are we focusing on the sacrifices, or are we focusing on the gains? So it's just a matter of where you're looking at things from, if you know what I mean. Rob says, falconry, so beautiful. Chris says, could the colors relate to how the chakras correlate with money, like how your thoughts or heart relate to how you make money? 100% yes. 100% yes. There is a lot of connection to the chakra colors. Not all of them, and it's not like a guidance throughout all the cards. But if we look, for example, again at the 9 of discs, it is a card of Venus. Venus is connected to the heart, the emotion of love, and the green and pink that we see here are, of course, the colors of the heart chakra, for example. So yes, without a doubt, there's actually a really interesting aspect that I think relates to the chakras in the 4 of discs, 4 of pentacles. So in the 4 of pentacles, we've got a king. It's a crown over his head, and he has money. He has the coin on his head, the coin over his heart, 2 coins under his feet, and he's keeping it, and he's not sharing it. But what did he do to get all that money? Just like be king? Has he got skills? So I know some people, some person that refers to this guy as DJ Pentacles. DJ Pentacles, because the way that he's got the 2 pentacles on the floor looks a bit like he's spinning discs. So maybe he has a creative ability. Maybe he has creative flair. And then in the Thoth, the 4 of discs is again very stable, a little bit trapped because, you know, you could be stuck in that castle that you're seeing without a clear way out. But it is also orange, the color of the sacral chakra, which is the chakra of creativity and creation, relating to pregnancy, relating to creative endeavors. So maybe you're stuck in the house because you're pregnant or just had a baby, and you love the baby and you love the creative ability that you discovered you have, but you're still feeling kind of stuck in the house. Or it might be that you're stuck in the house working on your masterpiece, and then you'll have all this ability when you sell it. So yes, definitely, there is a connection to the chakra colors, but not as a first protocol when you come to interpret it. There's plenty of stuff to relate to in each card until you get to the chakras. Like, it's part of a whole. It's not like the thing. It's part of some things. Isa, hey Isa. 4 of Pentacles helped me decide to rent my own flat. Yes, I'm sure you've heard me use the same joke again. And I call the 4 of Pentacles, or 4 of discs in the Thoth, I call it the first time buyer in London card, because when you buy your first flat in London, this is the actual size it is. True size. So Isa says this, I use the Thoth. yeah, it did help me buy my first flat in London, and it was this actual size. Dada says, Inbal, you and Grizz always have interesting topics. Thank you. She says, thank you for your shows and your time. Passing knowledge is so enlightening, and interactions from all the followers make a good takeaway. Yeah, no, it's good. I enjoy it. Thank you so much. I'm really pleased that this is fun for you. Rob says, they be shrinking in London. Let me tell you, it is worse than you will have remembered. I believe you. I really do. But yeah, Dal, thank you so much. I'm, obviously here to enjoy and share, not to promote, but I actually have two really big tarot courses, one for the Rider-Waite-Smith and one for the Thoth deck. I've got really big courses, hours and hours and hours of me doing this to camera and sort of getting to the ins and outs of each card, how to use them, how to read them. So if you're ever interested, do get in touch. I'm gonna sign off because we're running out of time. Just to let you know that indeed I do have I'm trying to see if I've got a way to show you my oil. How do I do that? Ha! I didn't know it was going to look like that. But yeah, so this there is these are bottles of my essential oils that my friend Amanda blends. We design them together and I bless them when they arrive here. And I've got a love oil and I've got a wealth oil, and I send them from right here in my house. So let me know if you're interested. Amazing. I can't believe I managed to do this. The last couple of messages. So Kathy says, this was so interesting. Thank you. That's really a pleasure. And Twisted says, fantastic show, Inbal. Lots of love. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I had the best time. I'm going to see you again this time next week. If you've got any topics you want to ask for specifically, go ahead and ask. Have a wonderful evening. I enjoyed myself so much. Bye.